So what's going on, everybody? My name is Jason and welcome back to some more Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Now what I'm going to be showing you guys today is something a little bit different, and this is mainly geared towards people who are competitive players, so you like to do Wi-Fi battles and stuff like that, and you like building competitive teams. This is the video for you. Now of course, if you are against any kind of hacking, glitching, modding, cheating, anything along those lines, of course this video is not for you, but this is a way how to make your own Pokemon and power saves. Now some people are completely against power saves. I actually have a couple of friends of mine who are really against the use of like any kind of like hacking and stuff like that, and I completely respect that. If you are against hacking and cheating and breaking the game's code, I completely 100% respect and understand that, and you are obviously not forced to do this. But if you don't want to, waste time, or I shouldn't say waste time, if you don't want to spend the time that it takes to, fully EV train a Pokemon, hatch one with perfect IVs, this, that, the other, it can get really tedious, and that could take up to maybe even past 24 hours to get the perfect Pokemon. And then to not only do that, but then the EV training and just everything along the lines. Just doing one Pokemon takes a pretty long time, as opposed to this method where making one Pokemon at most can take about maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. Depending on if you already have the moveset and whatnot that you need. Now this is going to be a full guide on how to create a Pokemon from scratch and then turn it into a competitive based Pokemon. And so hopefully this will help you guys out, and if it does, make sure you show some of that Jason Nation love to that like button, because you know how much that supports me and the channel grows. So without further ado, let me explain to you guys what we're going to do here. So I apologize for the kind of poor quality here, but this is just what we're going to have to do here. So we're going to go to the PC, and now open up PC boxes. So right here I'm going to show you guys something I've already done. Let me just find the box. Okay, so these are all my competitive based Pokemon that I have so far. Just stuff that I've saved and whatnot that I made myself. Now I actually have cloned a couple of these guys, but anyway, that's besides the point. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is in my party I have a Metagross, and this is my in-game Metagross, but I do have a other Metagross that is. Let me just move this ground on, sorry about that. I do have another Metagross that is the same one, but I cloned it. So this is a clone of my original. Now, as you'll notice, it does have a hasty nature. You can just take a second to look at the stats and whatnot. And so when you see, OT Steve and all that stuff, hasty, clear body, Metagross, all that stuff, got his moves and whatnot. Basically, we're going to change this guy completely, and we're going to make him a competitive based poke. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly grab something on my battle box. I'll grab my Swampert, because that just basically works, I guess. So let's put Swampert in there, and we'll grab this Metagross, and we're going to put him in box 1. Now, you will need a power save for this. Obviously, if you don't have a power save, then you will need to purchase one before we get on with this. Power saves usually run you about $20, $30 or so. Depends on where you buy from. I got mine from Walmart for 20 bucks, so I mean it's really just depending on where you can find one. I know GameStop probably does carry them. So basically, just gotta find yourself a power save, and once you do that, then you're good to go. So what you're gonna do is you place the Metagross in box 1, slot 1. Make sure that it is in box 1, slot 1, or whatever Pokemon you're doing. It doesn't have to be Metagross, but whatever Pokemon you are choosing to use box 1, slot 1. Now, most of this stuff is going to be done on the computer until we get back in the game, but for right now, you just want to save your game. And once your game is saved, you're going to want to go to the home menu, and then you're going to want to, no, I don't want to do the system update, and then you're going to want to suspend the software. Or sorry, close the software. When you close the software, you're going to eject your game. Eject your game out of the DS, and then this is where we move over to the computer part. Alright, so we have the camera going, we got everything going good here. Actually, let me just make my webcam a little bit smaller, because we don't want it to be that big. Take the full screen, that works perfectly fine. Okay, so what you'll need, like I said, is a power save. You'll need your game and whatnot. So I've got my power save already connected to my computer, as you can see here, but it's just like a little dongle, save dongle basically is where power save is. So you take your cartridge, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, even X&Y if you want to do that, this works for that too. Pop it in, and then as you'll notice, let me actually take down my OBS. Now you'll notice that there's something that pops up on my power saves. Now to get the software, it doesn't actually come with the power save. You have to go to Dato's website or whatever it is, and you can just download the software from there. Now, what you'll notice is that there's a bunch of folders for different codes and stuff here that you can use. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing this thing's level, its EVs, its IVs. If you want, if it's a regular Pokemon and it's shiny, or you want it shiny, you can change it to shiny. but we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff in this video that's going to change the Pokemon and make it competitively built. Alright, sorry about that. So, what we're going to do is, by the way, I'll leave all the links that you'll need for websites and stuff that I use in this video in the description. So, if you're ever like, well, how do I get to that website, this, that, and the other, just check out the link in the description, and then you'll be able to find it. So, what we're going to start off with is, now this Metagross is in a Cherish Ball, I believe, because we got it from the event. This is the event Metagross that you get from the Wonder card. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by getting its EVs just reduced to 0, because throughout the game, I did use this thing. It was in my in-game team. Because it's a clone doesn't mean that it gets rid of its EVs. It still retains the same EVs that my original one had. So this can vary depending on what Pokemon you're doing this with. Now, if you're doing this with a Pokemon that you just freshly bred, now this Pokemon that you breed doesn't have to be like, let's say you breed a Charmander, it's level 1, and you want it to be a Charizard X. This is good because it doesn't have any EVs yet. It's just born. So you've got to take the advantage of that. Don't level up. Don't do nothing. Then you can just go in here and save yourself some extra time and just click the EVs that you want. But if it's something that you are like you receive from a trade and it's already pre-leveled up and you don't know what EVs it has, what you do is you go through and you select 0 for each one of these EVs. Now make sure that it is in box 1, slot 1. That is really important here. Don't forget to do that. So when you do that, then just hit apply. This is the first step. We're not done with power saves yet. This is just the first step in it. So you hit apply once you've done that, and it'll reset all these Pokemon's EVs down to 0. So it'll be like a booty Pokemon, basically. It won't do anything. But once we're done with this, then I'll show you what we're going to do here. So it just has to save, read the cartridge, uploading save, server process, downloading save, right into the cartridge, and then save. So now it's officially saved on my cartridge without me having to save in game. Then you hit unselect all just to make everything easy. Then you pick the EVs that you want to put into this thing. Now for me, for Metagross, you generally want to put in either, you know, now this is hard because you can't actually put in like 252, 252, and then 4. It's just 252 and 0. That's it. So you might be missing out on a couple EVs, so pick wisely what you want to do here. There may be updates with this code in the future, which I'm sure there will be, but for right now, there's only 252 options and 0 options. So pick which one you want to do. Now, what I'm going to do here is... okay, so for Metagross, I would want to put in attack and probably defense. So I'm going to put in 252 attack, 252 defense, because generally that is the best thing to put on a Metagross in my opinion. You guys can put whatever you want on. Like I said, this depends on the Pokemon that you're doing. You have to do research with competitive if you don't know what EVs to put on it. But generally, this is what you would want to run on a Metagross. So that being done, we can close this EV folder. We don't have to hit apply after everything we do. That's just for the first step. So that's done. EVs are done. Now we gotta do IVs. Now IVs, to make it as easy, if you're trying to get a certain hidden power, you can select which ones you want. For me, I'm just gonna do 31 IVs because I'm not running hidden power. So 31 IVs, box 1, slot 1. There you go. Now he has 31 IVs. Well, we will have to reapply it. Nature code, you're gonna want to put on whatever nature you want. I'm gonna put on Jolly because it increases speed and it lowers special attack. So this thing is gonna be probably a banded Metagross. Well, actually, I might make this a Mega Metagross, I'm not sure, but I think for the sake of this video, we'll make a banded Metagross set, just so you guys can get an idea here. So, we'll put on Adamant Nature, actually. Should we put on Adamant? Yeah, we'll put on Adamant Nature. We don't really need a Jolly Nature, so I'll put on Adamant. Pokeball Cotton, you can leave it in the Cherish Ball if you want, or you can put it in whatever Pokeball you want. You can even put it in a freaking Dream Ball if you want to, Cherish Ball, Moon Ball, anything you want. For me, I'm just going to put it in a Pokeball because I'm old school, I don't really care. Just put it in a Pokeball, end of story. Language modifier, don't really touch this, that doesn't really matter. Cloning codes, this is if you want to clone the Pokemon. If you want to clone it, don't do this yet though, don't do this step yet. Wait till we're done doing everything else first. So cloning will be the last thing we do. Now, experience modifier. So experience modifier is determining the level that it's going to be at. Now, don't put the wrong amount of experience, because if you put too high, it could do something like give you like a bad egg or corrupt your save file or do something that you don't obviously want. So this is where the really key part of research comes into. Now I'm not sure if that will happen if you make a mistake, but just be very cautious. So we're going to open up Google Chrome, and I'm actually going to go to a website called Cerebi. I'm sure most of you probably heard of it. My computer's being a little bit slow right now, but it's all good. So we're going to go to Cerebi because Cerebi is probably one of the better sites for like researching for Pokemon stuff, that and Bubblepedia. So we're going to go ahead and search on Metagross because we need to find out what its max experience is. So we'll go to Metagross, number 376, blah, 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 blah. and it's the 1,250,000 one. So we go and we hit 1,250,000. That means it's level 100. Done. Sex modifier. I don't think Metagross is. I don't think it has a gender. Is it? I don't think Metagross has a gender. I'm pretty sure it's genderless, but that doesn't really matter. You can make it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, so that's done. Metagross is now almost completely done. If you want to change it to be shiny, you can do that. Now, generally people say that this could mess with the IVs and could render your Pokemon useless, but it doesn't. So if you want to make it shiny, you can just do that. Mine's already shiny though, so it doesn't really matter. That's the way I'm going to keep it. Now, another thing to remember is when you have your bag, this will replace the first item in the bag. So if you're going to make this thing like a Mega Metagross, you go to miscellaneous, sorry, not miscellaneous, you go to tool items, go to slot 1 item, and you find this the Metagross site, which is right here. So you would hit Metagross site, and then you would make it a Mega Metagross, and you just equip it with that when you get into game. But because we're going to make this a choice banded set, we're not actually going to do that. So you can close it off, but you can select whatever item you want. It doesn't really matter. For the sake of this, I'm just going to show you that you can do whatever you want. So it'll give you 999 or whatever. I guess for the sake of this, I'll do hard scale. There you go. Do a hard scale, because I actually do need some hard scales. So we'll do hard scale just for the sake of this. And then this is basically where we're pretty much done. Now, like I said, before you do the cloning thing, make sure you hit apply. Apply all these changes, because if you clone that, you're going to clone the Pokemon that doesn't have any of the competitive EV spreads and any of that stuff, and you're going to clone the wrong Pokemon. So once you save this and you apply all those changes we just made, we are then going to go ahead and then clone the Pokemon. So first hit unselect all, then you're going to hit clone Pokemon from box 1 slot 1 to box 1 slot 2, or however many you want to clone. If you want to get 6, 12 Metagrosses, I mean, by all means go for it, but I'm only going to do this just so you can show you that it does actually work if you just clone it once. So then we hit apply, and once we've hit apply, we'll let it go through, do its thing and whatnot. And then we will go back to the game and I'll show you guys the outcome. Alright, so then unselect all, and you're going to remove your game from your power save. Nope. Unselect all, remove game. There we go. Alright, I'll see you guys when we get into the game. Alright, so then this is obviously not the best quality, like I said, but you're just going to have to deal with it until you get a 3DS capture card. It's kind of sloppy, you know, camera positioning as well, but I mean, it's whatever. So, if my camera would focus, that would be nice. There we go. Okay, so, now we're going to go into the PC, boot it on up. Oop, not deposit. And we're organize. And now you can see down here, well, I'll have to tilt my DS so you can see we now have 2 Metagrosses in the first box. And you'll see that I can just switch back between them. They're exactly the same. My camera's glitching, I apologize. But yeah, they're literally the exact same poke, which means that you can use this if you want. You can use this thing exactly how you want. If you want to make a different set for it, you can. Like I said, I really do apologize for this quality. This is really sloppy, but I'm just showing this for the sake of how to do this. You guys can see what I'm doing, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, so we're gonna take this Metagross and we're gonna put it in our party, and we'll just leave Swampert there for now, I guess. But anyway, so we're gonna make this a choice banded set. Now, also if you have power saves, there is an option where you can give yourself like a bunch of battle points, Pokemiles, money. Just max it out. That's what you can do here if you would like to do this strategy, just so you can see. But we're gonna fly to the battle resort real quick, because this is where the next step is going to be. If you want to make a perfect poke without having to go through the trouble of trying to find this item, this is exactly where you'll have to go. So if you want something like a life orb, or where's the battle resort? I think it's right here. If you want something like a life orb, choice band, choice specs, anything like that, like battle items, go to the battle resort. That's where you're going to get it. And the reason why I say max out your battle points is because you can purchase those items for battle points, but they're quite expensive. They're like 48, 50, 60 for each item, so make sure you have enough, and that's why I say just max out your points, because that's basically the best way to do it, in my personal opinion. Like I said, I really do apologize for the quality, guys, but anyway, enough babbling about that. So we'll go in here into the battle mason, and then this is the woman that will give you choice items. I'll show you actually what this woman gives you as well, real quickly, so you can see. She doesn't give you as good stuff, but she gives you basically like EV training items. So like if you want to legitimately EV train your Pokemon, wink wink, you can do that here. You know, like all the Electrizer, you can give yourself like a Magmarizer, Electrizer, all this stuff that you can use to evolve your Pokemon. Dubious Disc, rare candies, ability capsule, just stuff like that, stuff that's like used for like evolving Pokemon. You can get it there, and EV training stuff. But this is where you actually get the battle items, which is what we're here for. So like I said, this is gonna be a banded Metagross. So we're gonna go down and scroll down until we find a choice band. Choice band right here. We're gonna grab one, just for the sake of this. We're gonna grab one, like I said. And there you go, that's the choice bands. Now we can get out of here, we don't have to stay in here. If you have more Pokemon you want to grab items for, feel free to grab it there whilst you're there. But anyway, so now we're going to go over to... actually, I'll do that in a sec. So we're going to go to Metagross, we're going to go to item and give him an item. And then we can go in our bag and find the item we want to give him. And as you see, we have 999 heart scales, which is perfect. That's what we need. We'll be using that at a later time. So I have 999 Charizard X things. I don't even know why I have that, to be honest with you. But we're gonna go find the choice band wherever that is. I think that would be right at the bottom. There's a choice band, and we're gonna give. It's already holding a Metagross. Would you like to switch 2 items? Yes. So we're gonna switch those up. Now I have the Metagross item in my bag, and he has a choice band. So there you go. That's that. And now, because Metagross is level 100, the next thing we're going to work on here is going to be his moveset. Now, as you can see, his moveset is obviously not that great. It's Meteor Mash, Hammer Arm. If my camera would focus, that would be great. Okay, well, it doesn't really want to focus, but it's Meteor Mash, Hammer Arm, Agility, and Psychic. So, I'm sure this is probably not the best tutorial because of the camera quality, but like I said, I do apologize. So, it's level 100, got that moveset. Now this is where we're going to teach him some moves in order to basically give him a better set. So we're going to go, these little huts right here, you have to beat in the game to unlock this area, so it's recommended that you do beat the game to do this. So these guys are going to all be able to teach you moves. This guy teaches you some cool moves, this guy teaches you some decent moves, but it's really this guy and this last hut down here that we're going to probably be using. I mean, there's some stuff here that you might use if you're using a different set, doesn't matter, but for the sake of this, I'm going to be using these two places right here. So I'm gonna give him Zen Headbutt because, you know, why not? It's a physical Metagross and it's choice banded, so Zen Headbutt's a nice move to give it. So we're gonna replace that, and I'm gonna kind of show you guys where you can get all these move tutors and stuff at. So we're gonna get rid of Agility for that. So we got Zen Headbutt. And then we're going to say no because I don't actually need anything else from you. Now, next place you're going to go to, if you have the heart scale code, like I said, we're going to go to Fall Town, which is where the Move Maniac is, and he can teach you old moves that your Pokemon may have learned by leveling up. Now, this is the thing. Once you use that code, basically levels the Pokemon up to level 100 immediately. There are some moves that you might want on your moveset that it does learn by leveling up, and then you can't get anymore. But if you have the heart scales, you can go to Fall Town, and you can get yourself that move again that you needed. So it's basically like a win-win situation. Let me see, here's Fall Town. No, come on. Come on. No. Fall Town. Alright. So once you're in Fall Town, we're going to go ahead and go down to the Move Maniac's house, which is right here. And you talk to him, and he says, "Oh, sweet, that's a heart scale, right enough to like me to teach your Pokemon a move." Say yes, and so he will teach you your Pokemon a move for a heart scale. And it's a move that it has already learned before, but you wanted to remember. So there's a list on the bottom screen here of all the moves that we could potentially teach this thing. So we got like Hold Back, Magnet Rise, Takedown, Confusion, Metal Claw, Pursuit, Bullet Punch, Miracle Eye, Scary Face, blah 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 blah. But what I want to teach this thing is I'm going to teach it Bullet Punch, because that's a decent move to have. If you wanted to. Actually, no, I know what I'm going to make with the last move on this thing, so I'm not teaching a Bullet Punch, but you can teach it stuff like that. So I'm just showing that. Give up, yes. No, 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 no. I just actually realized what I want to do for my last move. You can delete that. You could pick a move there that you want, if you want to. That's where you can go if you want to teach your Pokemon a move that doesn't already know. But anyway. So now the last move that I'm going to actually throw on my Metagross is a TM, which is Earthquake. Now, there's actually a code on Powersaves to get all the TMs and HMs in the game and unlock them. So you can do that if you'd like. That is always an option. But the last move I'm going to teach this thing is going to be Earthquake. So we're going to go ahead and boot it up. Teach him Earthquake for Zen Headbutt. I mean for Psychic. And now this thing's move is going to be Meteor Mash, Zen Headbutt, Hammer Arm, and Earthquake. And that's perfect choice banded set. That's my preferred set. And that's basically it. Now, another thing to show off here really quickly, just so we can know that we did this perfectly right. We're going to go to Pokemon, we're going to go to Summary, and we're going to take a look at this thing's stats. So now I'm also going to go ahead and open up the, what's it called? The Pokemon Showdown link, so let me quickly do that. So, as you can see, we have the DS actually just down here. You can see this is like an actual video feed, not just a picture. So, that's the stats we got rocking with Metagross. So what you'll do is you'll go to Pokemon Showdown. You don't have to make an account to do this. I already have one, but if you don't have one, you don't have to. You can just go straight to Team Builder, I'm pretty sure. And then once you're in Team Builder, oops, I didn't click on team. Just go to, I have done title team just specifically for this reason. You're going to type in the Pokemon you want. In my case, it's Metagross. So I'll type in Metagross. Sorry, I apologize for my computer being a little bit slow right now. We'll type in Metagross. We'll grab Metagross. None of this stuff really matters. You're just going to go straight to the stats portion of this. And you're going to go ahead and give it the exact same spread you gave this one. The Pokemon that you're training. In my case, it's Adamant. And then I gave it 252 attack. And then 252 defense. And now you'll compare these stats that it gives you right here to the ones you have in game. So, as you can see here, oh sorry, I didn't mean to transition that. I have a hotkey set for that. My bad. So, that's the stats that I gave it. And now we're going to just move this over here. So, we'll take a look at this and see that we're going to compare the two pictures here. So we're going to compare the one that's in-game and we're going to compare the one that's on Showdown. So, it's going to have 301 HP, which it does, 405 attack, which it does, 359 defense, 203 special attack, yep, 216 special defense, yep, and then 176 speed. Yep, alright, perfect. So then that means that this Pokemon is perfectly done because Showdown basically just calculates it all for you. And that means that this Pokemon is perfectly EV trained and ready to go for Wi-Fi, and it is perfectly ready and, you know, good to go. So that is basically all you have to do to EV train and fully make a Pokemon. The only exception is that you will have to have the Pokemon before making it in order to be able to use it. So you're going to have, you know, if you want to make like a special Sceptile, you're going to have the Sceptile first to make it. So it's a little bit different than actually Pokegening, but this is the way that you can do it. So anyway, guys, without further ado, we're going to quickly just hop into a battle here. And I'll just show you guys off the Metagross and whatnot, and you guys can see it for yourselves. There we go. There you go. So we'll show this off real quick. There's Metagross. It's got the choice band and everything, and then we'll go for a Meteor Mash. There you go. Bam. So anyway, guys, that is how you fully make and EV train a Pokemon so it's competitive ready and good to go with Powersaves. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Let's try and get some nice ratings on this video. I would absolutely 100% appreciate that, more than you guys can honestly imagine. And if this video did help, I'm glad that it did, and hopefully that you guys can show some support back. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Got it? Nope. Still the Bulldog. Still the Bulldog. You know what I really fail to understand is, I mean, why don't they add a different set of guns into Infected? I mean, what looks like to be a potential Sandstorm team. But I can't really tell by the looks of it. The only thing I really should be worried about is probably that Rotom, because it's going to trick me something I don't want. Probably the Staraptor and